order today's special call council meeting of the Jackson City Council. Ladies and gentlemen, we just have one item on the agenda. Would the clerk please read?
Order ratifying the mayor's execution of contract and related documents with Richards Disposal, Inc. to provide solid waste collection and hauling services for a 6-year term commencing April 1, 2024, with 4 one-year extension options with requirements of carts removed and at a cost of $851,000 each month.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second on this item.
Oh, shoot.
Questions or comments? Yes, sir, Councilman Foot.
Thank you, Mr. President. Looking at the savings from where we were, I guess it was just yesterday, at $891,000 a month to this, what's listed here of $851,000 as a result of taking the carts out. I'm puzzled that it's only $851,000. Because if you take the $40,000 of differential and you multiply it times 12 months, and then that gives you $480,000. Then you multiply that times 6 years, it gives you $2,880,000 difference in what the customers are going to pay, their city's going to pay, and that's not as much savings as I thought we would get. I thought we were going to get $4.3 million for taking the carts out because that's what we were told the carts cost was. So to me, it strikes me that there's $1,420,000 that's still due the city if we're going to do away with those carts. And I'm curious how we came up with the number we've got of 851.
Sure. Drew Martin, City Attorney. Councilman Foot, the short answer is during the negotiations, actually this won't be a short answer, but during the negotiations, Mr. Richards explained that it couldn't be a direct one-for-one, dollar-to-dollar reduction in cost because there are other costs associated, some of which are basically sunk costs, that just couldn't come off, and other costs that change with the removal of the carts. So, for example, with the removal of the carts, the workers' comp premiums go up and the workers' comp claims go up without using carts. The trucks, as I understand it, that there's already an investment in are purchased for that purpose in part, and they don't go back and sell and rebuy new trucks because that would be more expensive as well. So I think at the end of the day, what was negotiated was the actual cost of the cart is $65, not counting transportation and so forth. And that is the benefit that the city received, is the reduction in the actual cost of just the cart as opposed to the related costs. And the mayor, I think, wanted to say something.
No, you got to the final thing, that is the actual cans and not the cost of the can. The $96 was not just the can itself. It was the other things associated with that service. And so we're saving the cost of the can itself, but the increase, like he said, of workman's comp and other things are the things that were not a one-to-one.
So we've been told all along that it was $96 per cart. We used that in the discussion, and nobody ever mentioned it was actually a $65 cart. I really feel like this is, well, I'll just put it this way. For the last 2.5 years, I think we have been out-negotiated, out-lawyered, and outmaneuvered by the Richards team. And the result is we end up with something that's very, very expensive, and we don't even get the money back on the carts we save.
Well, to the extent that's a question, I'll say that I'm going to reject the premise of most of what you just asked. But I will say that I don't think anybody ever said the cost of the cart by itself was $96. The cost to Richards to purchase carts, prepare them, deliver them to customers, the whole cost, $96. The actual cost of the purchase of the cart only, $65. I don't know who knew that and who didn't know that prior to the other day. Yes, sir.
No, I would just respond by saying that through the course of 3 years, I would say that our interest in saving hasn't been sincere the entire time. We're now 3 contracts forward where we could have saved money. We are several litigation expenses forward where we could have saved money. So if money was our principal concern collectively at this dais, then we wouldn't be here. So I agree that we have traveled a road that we should not have traveled Be that as it may, this is where we are, and this is the response of the company as we have asked them to remove the carts, and this is the savings that they said they could do. They have come to the table. We asked them to reduce the costs based on the carts. They did reduce the costs, and this is what they came to. There are very few negotiations that you're ever a part of that you simply say the number is X and the other side says, okay, I agree to it. There's usually some variance in there, and so this is the variance that we find ourselves at.
Question.
Yes, sir. Councilman Stokes?
Thank you. Could we get that in writing, please?
Which part, Councilman? I'm sorry.
The answer that you gave,
The answer is as far as the cost breakdown on the carts and delivery and so forth?
everything. I want to try to tell you to do it one way when you do it just like you explained to us, like we're here on tape. And I agree with the mayor that if money was the main issue, then when I made a motion, when we first started this process, to take the second lowest bid, we could have saved millions. Records will reflect, I made a motion to take the second lowest bidder. We could have saved millions. My concern today is this. What's the appeal process?
The appeal process for whom?
For this item?
If the council passes assuming the council votes in favor of this order ratifying the execution of the contract, I don't think there is any appeals process beyond that.
No, people can appeal a decision of any legal entity.
It has to be an aggrieved party under the Bill of Exception statutes. I'm not sure who that would be in this case.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Explain the bill of exceptions and aggrieved party, so we'll know who can, if they decide to appeal.
The
They
bill
have
of
that right.
Sure, Councilman. The Bill of Exception statute says that any aggrieved party can appeal a decision by a municipal body or the governing authorities by appealing that matter to the circuit court. Aggrieved party is a legal term of art that I'm not sure I can properly define in here,
It's all right.
but very generally it means somebody who was particularly damaged by the decision made by the governing authority.
What's the time frame?
Oh, I should know this. It's pretty quick. I want to say it's 14 days, but it could be 10. I'd need to pull the statute.
It's all right, that's close.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Councilman Hartley?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask this. If, under the definition of aggrieved party, if,
I'm sorry, Councilman.
Go
It's 10 days is the appeal time period.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra.
under the definition of aggrieved party, if someone had in fact placed the lowest bid and their bid was thrown out, and they feel as though they had some type of complaint, could they be defined? Because the lowest bid was not Richards, the lowest bid was NCS, okay? And so if that party decided to go forward and file a lawsuit or some type of legal litigation based on that, would they be defined as an aggrieved party?
So I don't want to get in a position where I'm giving legal advice to
No, I
anybody
just
other
want,
than our
under
clients.
definition, just definition, sir, just
the-
definition.
The short answer is I'm not sure. I think they would want to get their own legal counsel about that. As I look at that under the particular facts of this case, I don't see a lawsuit there. I don't see a valid appeal there that would be victorious.
I'm asking, could they be defined as an aggrieved party if they have an interest because they were in fact the lowest bidder? The gentleman, I think the president is in the audience, and he has been a longtime taxpayer and a longtime professional solid waste practitioner. I'm just asking a question.
No, I understand.
If they saw themselves, they possibly could see themselves as an aggrieved party if their bid was kicked out.
What I want to say is the only reason I'm avoiding that answer is because I don't want to be giving legal advice that might be ammunition to somebody against the city.
Okay, thank you.
But I'd be
I
glad to
understand.
answer that.
I understand.
Yes,
I
and
understand.
the
Thank
mayor
you.
had a comment.
Thank
as
you.
well.
It would be for a court of law to determine. That's the easiest answer.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right, all in favor? Opposed? All right, item passes 4-3. Anything else to come before this body?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes, sir, Mr.
I'd
Stokes.
like to close the meeting in honor of Mrs. Collins, the owner of Collins Dream Kitchen, who passed on yesterday. Funeral arrangements has not been made as of today, but Ms. Collins was an outstanding businesswoman in this community. And just want to let the family know that we love her and we love them too. Thank you.
I join you with that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I join you as well. If you're a Collins fan, you know about the big bread, all right? They didn't have that out sometimes. They came from the back. So I join you in that. Just because we're here today on a special council meeting, I didn't think I would have this opportunity. I'm now wishing Nubia Ngozi Lumumba a happy birthday, her 6th birthday. Thank you.
Happy birthday. Anything else? All right, that being said, this meeting is adjourned.